Right now, in the room you're sitting in, the air is absolutely screaming. Your Wi-Fi is shouting to your router. Your phone is chatting with a tower. A whisper from a satellite 12,000 miles up is landing on your GPS. Maybe an earbud, a car key, a baby monitor, a smart bulb. Dozens of invisible messages, all flying through the exact same empty space, all at once. So here's the part that should keep you up at night. Why don't they crash into each other? Because they can't see. They can't slow down. And they're all moving at the speed of light. This should be a permanent, screeching pileup. And yet your video call is fine. So today, let's meet the invisible traffic system in the sky. And by the end, you'll never trust the word wireless again. Because here's the first lie. There is no such thing as a wireless wire. Nothing is beaming a private little cable of data to your laptop. Everything, all of it, is dumped into one single, shared ocean that every device has to swim in together. And the medium they swim through? Most people will tell you it's the air. That's the second lie. Radio waves, microwaves, the infrared from your TV remote, and plain visible light are all the same thing. Electromagnetic waves. Identical in nature, they only differ in how fast they wiggle, their frequency. And they don't actually need air at all. Sunlight crosses the total vacuum of space to reach you. So does a signal from a satellite. The real medium isn't the air, it's the electromagnetic field itself, woven through everything, even empty space. The air mostly just gets in the way. Everything wireless is really just light. Light you happen not to be able to see. And all of it moves at one speed. 300 million meters per second. The cosmic speed limit. So if every signal is the same kind of wave, moving at the same impossible speed, through the same shared field, we are right back to the pileup. How does anyone get a word in? The answer is the single most important idea in this whole video. You don't share the sky by taking turns in time. You share it by frequency. Picture the spectrum as a giant highway with millions of lanes stacked side by side. The low lanes wiggle slowly, that's your radio, your phone signal. Climb higher and the lanes wiggle faster and faster, Wi-Fi, then 5G, then the blistering millimeter waves up top. Your device isn't dodging traffic. It's just been assigned a lane, a specific frequency, and it stays in it. Two signals on different lanes simply cannot hit each other. They pass straight through one another like ghosts. But a bare wave carries nothing. It's just a pure tone, humming. To send actual data, you load cargo onto it. That's called modulation. Think of the wave as an empty truck driving down its lane, and modulation is how you stack boxes on the back. You nudge the wave's height, or its timing, in a pattern the receiver reads back as ones and zeros. The wave is the truck. Modulation is the cargo. And the receiver stands at the end of one specific lane, unpacking only the trucks meant for it, ignoring every other lane completely. So let's actually walk the highway, lane by lane, and meet the vehicles. Start with the most crowded, most chaotic neighborhood of all, Wi-Fi at 2.4 GHz. This is the old part of town, and it has a problem. The entire district is barely 100 MHz wide, and it's carved into channels that overlap like badly parked cars. Out of 11 channels, only 3, 1, 6, and 11 don't actually step on each other. Everyone crams into those 3. Your router, your neighbor's router, their neighbor's router, all elbowing for the same 3 parking spots. So engineers built a faster suburb, 5 GHz. Way more room, way more speed. But there's a catch, and it's pure physics. A 2.4 GHz wave is about 12.5 centimeters long, big, lazy, and it rolls right through a wall. A 5 GHz wave is only about 6 centimeters smaller, and walls eat it alive. Passing through a single interior wall can drain a 5 GHz signal by 10 to 15 decibels. That's the deal the universe offers you, and there's no escaping it. The higher the frequency, the more data you can carry, and the worse it is at getting through stuff. Speed, or reach. Pick one. That trait is the secret rule behind almost everything wireless. Now, within one lane, you can still have a traffic problem, a dozen gadgets all wanting the same channel. So Wi-Fi is astonishingly polite. Before your laptop transmits, it stops and listens. If the channel is busy, it doesn't barge in, it waits a random little moment, then listens again. Only when it hears silence does it speak. It's not a highway at all. It's a dinner table where everyone's weirdly well-mannered, waiting for a gap in the conversation before jumping in. That listen before you talk rule is quietly happening on your devices thousands of times a second. Bluetooth solves the same problem in a completely unhinged way. It refuses to sit still. A Bluetooth device hops between 79 tiny channels 1600 times every second, a brand new frequency every 600 microseconds. You can't jam a target that teleports. And it's smart about it. If it notices some channels are clogged, say, sitting under a busy Wi-Fi network, it just quietly drops those channels from its hop pattern and keeps dancing around the mess. Your earbuds are basically doing parkour through the spectrum, constantly, while playing your music without a single stutter. And that 2.4 GHz neighborhood everyone's fighting over? It gets worse. It's what's called an unlicensed band, a public commons, free for anyone to use without a permit. But it wasn't designed for your gadgets at all. Regulators originally set it aside for industrial heaters and medical machines and microwave ovens. Your microwave heats food by blasting 2.45 GHz waves, because water absorbs that frequency beautifully. Which is the exact frequency your Wi-Fi lives on. And a microwave leaks just a little past its metal shielding. So when your video call stutters while someone's reheating coffee, you're not imagining it. Your lunch is literally jamming your internet. Same lane. Bigger truck. Then there's 5G, which is really just the same lane-picking game played across the whole highway at once. Low-band 5G sits near 1 GHz, it travels for miles and slips through buildings, but it's slow. The famous millimetre-wave 5G lives way up at 24 GHz and beyond, absurdly fast, but its range collapses to a few city blocks, and it's blocked by a wall, a tree, even your own hand around the phone. That same brutal trade-off, again, the faster the lane, the shorter the leash. The real winner turned out to be the boring middle, the mid-band sweet spot. Which brings us to the thing nobody tells you about this empty sky. It is the most expensive real estate on the planet. In 2021, the American government auctioned off one narrow strip of that middle band, just 280 MHz of frequency, and telecom companies paid $81 billion for it. $81 billion, for a sliver of invisible sky you cannot see or touch. That's the whole secret. The spectrum isn't empty. It's beachfront property, and there is only so much shoreline. Congestion isn't a glitch. Congestion is the entire economy of the air. And then, quietly, above all of it, there's the one I find genuinely miraculous. GPS. The signal your phone gets from a GPS satellite is unbelievably faint, it arrives weaker than the background static of the universe itself. It's buried under the noise. Your phone digs it out by knowing exactly what secret pattern to listen for, and correlating until the whisper appears. Each satellite carries an atomic clock and endlessly announces the time. Your phone listens to at least 4 of them, measures how long each whisper took to arrive at the speed of light, and works backwards to a single point on Earth, you. And here's the beautiful part. Your phone never talks back. GPS is a one-way broadcast. It's not a phone call. It's a lighthouse, and you're silently reading the light. One last vehicle, because it breaks all the rules. Your TV remote. It doesn't use radio at all, it uses infrared light, at about 940 nanometers, just past what your eye can see. And unlike radio, light won't bend around corners or punch through walls. That's why you have to actually point the thing. It even flickers at 38,000 times a second, a private little strobe, so the TV can tell your button press apart from plain sunlight. It's the one signal in your house that still needs a clear line of sight, a tiny invisible flashlight, blinking commands across the couch. So step back and look at the whole sky. Nothing collides for three quiet reasons, stacked on top of each other. Different signals ride different frequencies, different lanes that pass through each other like ghosts. Within a shared lane, they take turns, or hop like maniacs, to stay out of each other's way. And every receiver is tuned to unpack only its own cargo and ignore the rest. That's the whole magic trick. The air around you isn't empty, and it isn't chaos. It's a crowded, invisible, beautifully zoned city, millions of messages threading past your face this very second, each one politely staying in its lane. There are no wireless wires. There's just one shared sky, and a very, very good set of traffic laws. If you like having the invisible machinery of your own house quietly explained to you, the stuff happening around your head every second that nobody ever points out, then you're in exactly the right place. Stick around. The next question in the series is number 7, and it's the big one. How does artificial intelligence actually work? Not the hype. The real machine underneath. I'll see you in the next one.